Relay races are won or lost in the passing of the baton. I see the veterans that carried that spark passing that off to a newer one, a younger one.
Hey, how many of you guys serve on our front lines or evangelism with worship or any? Raise your hand. Man, I bet you guys got some crazy stories. You know, you artists, you're just so emotional.
I got one. I remember the very first Molokai camp we ever had. I was invited by one of our leaders. I don't even know. They called my parents, and you were running it. So one night, you know, we're junior hires up all night. It's like midnight, and our leader like basically just kicks the door in, and we're like, what the heck? He's like covered in like face paint, has like a beanie on, like camo stuff, and we're like, oh my gosh, he's gonna murder us in Molokai. But lo and behold, we jump into like the New Hope van, and I think you were in the van you're driving, and we're like, where are they taking us? I guess in Molokai it's this tradition where really late at night there's this bakery that cooks like this amazing bread. That bread like changed my life. It is the best bread you will ever eat. But yeah, man, like moments like that have just ingrained into my brain forever, and it's been super great. So.
Well, I'm glad you got some of the bread of life, bro.
True.
Well, it really feels like a lot of us have kind of found our passions and figuring out kind of who we are, who we're not in God. And I remember a time, Lainey, you were up here doing a lot of dance stuff, and but then you transitioned into children's arc.
Yeah, so Children's Arc was the first ministry that I was serving in. I remember my mom was telling me how I used to be one of those screaming babies. I would never calm down for anyone. And then I started volunteering with the screaming babies, so it was like payback. So yeah, Children's Arc, that was what really solidified my want to be a teacher. And so now I'm in school for education. So I really owe a lot to Children's Arc for just showing me what my passion is.
Yeah, so cool. Likewise, hey Garrett, you started off dancing, and now you just stepped in to oversee like our iCampus and a lot of our social media. And hey, tell us about you, man.
I like to say to people that I don't remember when I came to New Hope. It's been that long. I think it's around 8 to 10 years old. Me and my family came. I'm one of those triplets that used to dance. I don't dance anymore. Instead I got into graphic design and photography and video, and I felt the Lord really put the call on my heart to be a pastor. Recently the Lord kind of merged those two because his plan is way better than mine, and I'm overseeing the iCampus, but I love the culture of New Hope, which enables us to even do things like that. I remember when I was just going to this church, I would go to different churches because my family's at different churches, and I would realize that it wasn't the same. And I didn't understand that because I grew up here. I realized, like, how come people aren't tearing down the chairs or setting up anything together? And it's just, staff doing it. And then I realized, like, DCAT is so important and it's so unique about New Hope. Is that everyone pitches in, everyone does church as a team, and that's really good.
Well, hey, the cool thing about all of us here, we really represent not just one ministry, but many a part of the body of Christ. Hey, Keone, how about you, man? You've been here for a bit. Tell us about your story.
Yeah, I've been here a little while. I've been here for about 20 years. I got invited by my security guard at one of my elementary schools, and he said, come check out this church. So, we were hooked and began serving in video at age 11, and been here in video. Now I'm 30, so a little bit old. Wow. So been there, and I've had the opportunity to share my gifts with the next generation. So now we're currently on our third generation of kids, and it's just great to see how God has never changed from my parents' generation to our generation to the future generation. And like you said earlier, how faithful he was and how he will be and how he'll forever be faithful. And I do owe a lot to your dad in this church, because I wouldn't be anywhere close to the person I am, trusting in God, living it out every day, if it wasn't for your dad believing in me and believing in everybody. So thank you for doing that, and for you as well, believing in the next generation and carrying that torch for us as we can plow ahead to reach the world for Jesus.